poaching your Wi-Fi.
You know what's a better plan?
Yeah,
Switching to
work
Verizon
with
Home
me
Internet.
here. Work with me here. Sorry, that's technical difficulties there in the back. I'm sorry about that.
Hey, my
So,
man got. Come on, Hal has his son is Cody Banks. Like we got to add the kids and their greatness there. That's a double. That's a so off you can roll off of. What does the other guy have? Phil. What did his kids do?
what did Phil's kids do? Okay, first of all, Phil's kids are successful and healthily balanced, which when it comes to being a dad, what's more important? Kicking people's ass or being there for your family? But you know what? I'm not defending Phil. I'm just saying.
I think the criteria that, being a good father is obviously one of them.
But not being a street fighter. If you're a street fighter, it doesn't matter how good of a dad you are. Okay, so let me catch up on chat here. Had mine, got that taken care of. An old nurse scared me out of getting another. Mortal Kombat. Welcome in, Trothgar. Welcome in, Bourbon. It looks like
Bourbon Trothgar.
Bourbon wants you to defend Hal, Samo. This man has repressed rage and athleticism. He has run over at least two homeless people. I say shared verse. So what are your thoughts on it, crew? Do you want this to be a shared dad verse or just the dad?
I'm with it, although if it's shared, I don't think I can beat old Hal. I mean,
Okay. Well, yeah, but also take into consideration.
This ain't no moving castle here, bro.
Okay, so we are going to allow the shared universe. We are going to have Samo represent Hal. But what we're going to do is, with this, we don't know much about Phil Dunphy. I think he was in a Muppets movie, which is not like selling crystal meth. So, I don't know. Dealing with
Muppets.
It's
adjacent to crystal meth.
Yeah, Muppets are crystal meth adjacent.
Look,
I will
I've seen
give you that.
Animal. That motherfucker is on something.
Hey, he hasn't been tested. You don't know that.
Oh, we're getting the parameters now.
All right.
He's got the height and weight. He's got the wingspan.
All right.
Got the reach.
So Hal is 5'10", 169. So he does have a couple inches shorter than Phil Dunphy. But we know white rage makes up for a lot. And it seems like Hal has a bunch of white rage in him.
Look, this is all I'm saying about my boy. Look, this is his life in witness location program. Okay. Before or after, you could pick. He's beaten the fuck out of chemo, not once, but twice. Got away from Arizona police multiple times. You got to remember, he was driving. He was the only person that was driving. What is it? A Pontiac, just the ugliest car in the world. And he made bald people cool again. Like, you gotta understand, this man of he's the only reason that you can take a 10-year hiatus on the show, come back with a freaking Netflix movie, and everybody still shows up. If you don't understand, this dad goes hard. And his son is Cody Banks. You got to remember that. He raised his kid to be an underground Secret Service by... How do you learn?
That's before he became a NASCAR driver.
He made a NASCAR driver? Look at that. Thank you for helping my case.
I can't help it. I don't know.
There's no defense. All right, well, we spoke on how Phil Dunphy has serial killer vibes. Now, he can't kill in this contest.
He definitely has, like, he's going to snap. You can see it in the man.
Yeah, and I mean, it seems as if he doesn't get any respect in his household.
See, and that makes it worse.
Right, and I mean, but Hal doesn't get respect either in his household.
And that's like that's the same thing.
But what we might be missing is that Phil Dunn might have tried to get the role for Dexter, but he came off way too good, and they just had to like keep it on the low key. So he might have been a Dexter. He might be in Dexter before Dexter was Dexter. So you got to remember that dry. Oh, I look unsuspicious. That could be dangerous. This man could be dynamite.
He's got the Bateman psycho thing kind of going on, where it's like you don't really know he's crazy until you get into it.
Now,
who yells Sacagawea? Like, honestly, I never get hit with something go Sacagawea. He's pretty intelligent. Okay, he's highbrow comedy.
Well,
he's offending everybody in Pocahontas.
This is what I'm not sure of. I'm not really I've never really trained in martial arts. I've never been a fighter, and I've never had cancer. But I imagine having cancer does not help you be a better fighter. So that could really hurt.
Well, that's the thing. To be fair, if we're talking about Breaking Bad, this man was kind of he's very frail and fragile. He did get his ass beat
Yeah.
several times. Now, he came back with lethal force every one of those times. But like we said, you can't kill him.
Okay.
You got to remember this also. He defeated people like the Chicken Man. He defeated Danny Trejo's like twin cousins. Like this man and he outsmarted them with science. He's like, you can't think about that shit.
And manipulation. He manipulated a lot of people.
He brought Heisenberg, that name, to a whole new level. That's crazy. I wouldn't even fucking care about Heisenberg if it wasn't for the blue mess and the high school dropout. Just think about that. That's a Kanye West reference in a TV show. Where does that belong? Why does that belong?
Oh man, so from what I'm hearing, I'm assuming that it's how in his younger self. I'm gonna say he grew
because
up.
if we make him freaking Walter White, he's frail. He's smart, but he's frail.
Yeah, he's old and he's frail. So I think we're looking at a younger, pre-murderous.
Maybe less science intelligent. Hal.
Yeah,
but
he hasn't went to 8 years of college yet. He's still trying to raise his family.
He's on his first relationship, and he abandoned these other kids to live in Arizona.
A young feral Hal.
Yes, a young feral Hal. I like that one. You're saying Hal gambled his newborn for $25. He has that crazy. So the thing is, I feel like Hal has more of an outward crazy, and Phil has more of that repressed, bury it down deep crazy.
Yeah.
But is the murder why Walter White can't compete? Well, no, it's not the murder. So I was looking at all the murder's fine. You can murder people, but you can't murder them in this fight. And the problem that I'm seeing is the fact that Walter White, I feel like, was probably mid to late 40s when he had the cancer, when he started doing this gangster shit. And it's him, I feel like, so he lived that life and now he gets to revert back. So I'm not going to give him the tumors or whatever cancers he had, but I will give him the cutthroat ruthlessness that he had in Breaking Bad.
Now, let's take away Breaking Bad for 5 seconds. Just act like it didn't happen.
Okay.
This man had 3 kids?
Mm-hmm.
And all of them were felony-worthy badasses? The oldest one can never stay in school. The youngest one was just fucking wild. No, he had 4 kids. This man is seasoned. If they met up in a parking lot to scrap, I guarantee he would have one of his kids as backup holding the chair on deck. So I'm going to still go with Hal, because the other guy, he's squirrely, but I don't think he has the backup in him. Through the whole show, who's going to back your man? Who's going to back him? I don't think Phil got it in him.
Okay. Let's give Phil Dunphy the closing statement here, crew. If you have anything to try and salvage this argument for Phil Dunphy.
I mean, he was in Dawn of the Dead. He fought off the zombie apocalypse.
He did.
He's coming through.
He did, and he dealt with Muppets, yo. Muppets and zombies.
He was also in Black Hawk Down.
He's a veteran.
And we're talking about some serious shit. Black Hawk Down. Now that was some badass shit
for withholding evidence.
I have no problem with y'all pulling up IMDb during these videos to familiarize yourself with these characters. I didn't know he was in Black Hawk Down, but you know what?
Knowledge steroids right now.
That's what I mean.
Look, I gotta have some help. I can't let him.
He was holding out
like this. I gotta pull out my my special X-ray Mortal Kombat Street Fighter move.
Your IMDb jutsu's coming out. Right. I'll allow it. Okay, so what I am going to do here, in fact, is if chat doesn't have a vote, I'm just gonna flip a coin for this one because I feel like I don't want personal bias to come into this, and I just feel
I
is
would say we could do a poll.
I would say do a poll, but the
Oh.
whole situation is this man revived Netflix for a whole 2
He did.
months. He got my $9.99 because I was about to turn that shit off, and they
yeah,
said, you know
hey,
what?
look,
Breaking Bad is back.
I can't argue with that. That's not fair. That's not fair.
Hal hasn't brought shit back.
Hal has not brought shit back.
Once again, if we kept it out, he would be
I didn't
running
know
back.
he was a writer for Law and Order SVU, which is
See,
a show. Which is a
it gives
show
you serial
that,
killer vibes. He
my
knows how to get off with it.
girlfriend really likes.
Bourbon's like, yo, Hal.
we got a vote for Hal.
We gotta vote for Hal.
Wow,
All right.
this is how you're treating the boy.
Yeah, I mean, okay, all right. So let me take this into advisement. First of all, both are willing to kill. One is a war veteran. One is a meth dealer who has seen some shit and not afraid to kill.
In Arizona, though.
In Arizona,
That's
it's
crazy.
harsh conditions to live in. I'm not gonna lie. Arizona is arid. It's dry. I mean, at
Horrible
least there's
baseball.
horrible baseball. Actually, horrible sports in general. What do y'all have there? The Cardinals made it to the Super Bowl like 15 years ago, and y'all lost, and that's it. Ain't seen shit from the Diamondbacks.
It
so-
doesn't seem like a very appealing place to live from the outside looking in.
And he made it poppin'. For at least the low income community, he made it poppin'.
He made it poppin' for all the meth.
Hey, yo. Okay. All right. So we have a vote for Hal. Is the order of importance for veteran and meth deal? No. I'm just saying that both have seen some things. One maybe chose it out of survival. The other chose it maybe to protect his, ideals and his family. Shit, man. Shit. It's so easy to say Hal because of the fact that
you want to.
Yeah, I really do.
H becomes before P, maybe. I'm not sure. I haven't looked at the alphabet lately.
Hal Wilkerson. Hal, but it is a tough fight.
This is crazy. The chat is insane for saying that.
So
sanity is in the.
So think of it this way, though. So do we want? And it's also an underdog story because we're gonna have lower class beat upper middle class. Like that's something that the downtrodden need to see. Not money's not going to determine if you're a winner or not.
No, this is in the streets. Money has been stripped.
Yeah.
We're gonna put you in an alleyway, 2-brick alleyway. We're gonna put you in a bunch of motherfuckers on the ends, and they're gonna push you in the middle. And y'all gonna have to go at it.
I gotta throw one more grain of salt into my boy Hal's pot. Not only did he revive the series, they made a spin-off about what is his name? Saul?
Yeah, Better Call Saul.
Who can do that? Who can do that?
Love
Still
Better
on the
Call
air.
Saul.
Still on the air. We're hoping to see pop-ups.
I would say as far as pop culture, obviously Hal has had a huge influence in pop culture. Whether it be Breaking Bad or Malcolm in the Middle.
Yeah, I mean, he's got decades in the game. Where Phil Dunphy, he came on a little longer, like later in the 2000s and 10s.
And then let's add this to the thing. That he's the only person in this category that we're talking about has done the Ebony and Ivory movie. He was a wheelchair-bound person who had to deal with, out of all annoying comics, Kevin Hart. You gotta give him the ultimate
heart right there, mother.
2-3 hours of Kevin Hart. He's just disabled. None of that shit's funny. He's just like, okay, just pay him and go away.
Kill me. Just kill me.
Okay. All right. Well.
SOS.
Okay. I think
that's a war vet right there.
After deliberation and with chat's input, I have to give it to Hal. Hal is moving on, folks.
I think that's fair. I as much as I like trying to defend Phil, and he had some strong points that I could dig into later once I had some research. I feel like it's just Hal's a very strong dad that's going to be hard to beat.
Yeah.
Throughout the roster, he's going to be strong. He's going to be hard to deal with.
That universe, bro. That universe. His career has made.
It expands so far. He's got so much.
He represented for all the high school dropouts. Like he was like, "You're gonna be a drug dealer? I believe in you."
Everything that the
with the
sunlight
science.
touches. Perfect.
Oh,
What
shit.
about the shadowy places, Father? That's too close to law enforcement, son. We don't go to those lands.
Oh shit! All right, everybody. Hal Wilkerson moves on to the
That's what
second
I'm
round.
talking about.
I can't deny it. He's got some fighting force behind him. We're gonna have to see who he's gonna be facing off with shortly here. But right now, let's just give a congratulations to Hal Wilkerson.
Oh man, it's next round.
I gotta applaud.
Way to go, Hal. Way to go,
Blue
Hal.
meth in the house. Blue meth. Blue magic, baby. Ooh, that'd have been a good rep for a drug dealer versus a drug dealer.
Oh yeah. So I randomly seeded these. So like some of the matchups could have been because we could have had Phil versus Phil. We got lucky to get Dan versus Dan. But I mean,
Right.
like, there could have been some really good matchups that we could have seen. Also, one thing that I don't know if I mentioned it with y'all. So I see this kind of like, I don't know if y'all seen the Tournament of Power in Dragon Ball Super, but pretty much what's going to happen is the dad that wins this gets hit an ultimate wish. So, like, not only do they get to go back to their family, but they get the ultimate wish. So, like, I imagine maybe Al Bundy would be like, yo, I don't have wife and kids. Maybe I get to go to the
He don't have
NFL.
to
Whatever.
go back.
Yeah,
He
yeah,
doesn't
like,
go back. He just doesn't go
Right.
back to his family.
right.
which
It
is
could,
the
so
way.
it's whatever they want, they get their wish fulfilled. So we're
He
not
gets drafted to the
only,
league, bro.
yeah, we're
With the
making
long
dreams
hair.
happen.